3 years ago, I discovered my wife of 25 years was having an affair. Spent about a year trying to change her mind about it, and ultimately gave her the choice of the other woman or me. She chose the other woman. It's now been 2 years, and that was the catalyst for me to find your teachings, which in hindsight have now turned out to be a blessing. I had filed for divorce, and here we sit 2 years later, and neither one of us are pushing the agenda, doing anything about it, just kind of going about living our lives. I have decided that I will not date while I'm still married.
Well, that's all right.
The feedback I get from people is, well, Kathy, it doesn't matter, she didn't do that, it's been 2 years, move on with your life, yada, yada, yada.
You all get all wrapped up in all kinds of rules and stuff that keep you from being the true happy beings that you are, don't you? The thing that is most evident about your marriage rules and marriage laws and marriage vows is that you see them as a means to control one another, which doesn't work anyway. And so the thing that you were using to control your partner didn't work, and now you're using the same thing that didn't work to control her to control yourself. Very interesting.
Well, it's interesting because when you talk about what's in your vortex and your vibration, what I discovered is what was in my vortex is what led her to leave my life, because I wanted a wife who was monogamous, committed, intimate, and loving, and she wasn't. But it took me a really long time.
What you wanted to understand is that what most relationships are, doesn't work out that well for you, but what most relationships are is the condition that you use as your excuse to feel happy or not happy. Most of you base your happiness upon that significant relationship. So if you don't have one, you're not happy. If you do have one, it could go either way depending upon how they behave. In other words, you're
Right.
putting all of your power outside of yourself. It's all about somebody else and not about you.
Right.
And so that's what this freedom that you're seeking, this freedom from bondage. Your partner didn't seek freedom from you. She was seeking freedom from bondage, and we want you to seek freedom from bondage, but bondage is always self-inflicted, you see. It's not what somebody else is doing or not doing that's got you bound up. It's your perspective about it. Even now, all this time later, you're still wanting to make what she did the justification for how you feel. And we
Right.
want you to not need to use anything as the justification for how you feel other than your own ability to focus, other than your own ability to perceive.
So why is it that I can't put closure to this and complete this divorce, or I don't want to? I don't understand that. I struggle with that.
It occurred to Esther the other day that what closure really is, she was in the middle of commenting on something unwanted, and she hadn't gotten too far into it when a very powerful thought came into her mind, and it was closure, closure, close your mouth. And she laughed right out loud. She's pretty sure it was Jerry. Because you can't keep talking about what went wrong or how you don't understand what went wrong and ever figure anything out.
Yeah, my friends or my family, it's like, what's going on with the divorce? What's happening with this? What's that? So it's like, just, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, we think you do.
Why? Yeah, I'm talking about it right now, right? So how do I get that out of my vibration? I don't think of something else.
Here's the most important thing that we want you to understand. Of course it feels logical to talk about it, because feeling good is so important to you, and that stands as the biggest symbol in your entire life for something that kept you from feeling good. And so it feels like you got to work it out, you got to talk it out, you got to talk it into some sort of closure before you can walk away and let it feel good. That's why you're sort of putting off actually signing the papers and making it a done deal, even though it was a done deal a long time before she even left, in other words. And so the actual condition or behavior or action is irrelevant. It's how you feel that's the thing that matters most.
Well, I don't want to lose my health insurance. I don't want to give her half of my business. I don't want to lose half of the furniture. You know, that kind of, I guess, conditional living.
So this is a good opportunity for us to do a focus wheel. We're going to do it quickly, and you're going to understand what to do when you're all balled up in a situation where it feels like your thoughts are thinking you. In other words, we know that you want to feel better, you just don't. We know that you don't want to harbor grudges, you just do. We know that you feel freer in many ways, but not in enough ways. And so here's what we would do. We would get a piece of paper big enough that you can draw several circles on it. We'd put a big circle in the middle, and there's where you want to make the statement of how you want it to be, the statement of how you want to feel, the statement of doneness, in a sense, that you're reaching for. Not necessarily how you do feel, but how you want to feel. Not necessarily how it is, but how you want it to be. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would write, one of the best things that ever happened to me was this breakup. Put it in whatever words you want. This breakup that's on my mind, this significant breakup is of enormous value to me. Now, it doesn't feel that way right now, but
I don't believe it yet, right?
That's the premise that you started with. You said that to us. It's what we know is in your vortex, and so let's just go for it. So that's the statement that you want. Now, this focus wheel is like the merry-go-round in the playground. If you take a thought that doesn't match it, if the merry-go-round's going really, really fast and you try to get on, it's just going to knock you off in the bushes. But if it slows down enough that you can get on, then you can speed it up. So that's the whole point of this focus wheel. We're going to slow it down enough that you can get on, and then it'll just go faster and faster and faster until you do believe what's in the center. So the culmination of this relationship was a great advantage to me. So now I feel freer. True?
Yes. Did you believe that?
No, you got knocked off in the bushes. It was too big of a thought, so it didn't get you there. So let's reach again. Can you think of anything that you believe that matches that? Anything at all? I have gained clarity from this experience.
I've gained experience from this experience. I know it'll serve me. I know it'll eventually serve me. I'm a slow learner. I'm getting there.
I've come to live life. We're getting really general now. I came into this experience to live life. I came knowing my sexuality was different than the masses. I came knowing that. I've been seeking freedom around that subject for almost as long as I can remember. I came being who I am because I know at some level I want to be who I really am. I didn't come needing to hook up with somebody else in order to be who I am. I came to be who I am, knowing that hooking up with others would help me to know who I am. I love the co-creating with others to help me to identify who I am. I believe that it is important for me to sift through data in order to come to my conclusions about what I want. I believe that it's right for me to get to choose how I want to be in a relationship. I believe that there are a lot of other people around this planet who have come, as I have, with a sexuality that is different from maybe the masses, who are a vibrational match to me. I believe that there are others who seek monogamy in relationships as I do. I believe that as long as my vibration is in line with what I want, that the universe will deliver to me what I want. And I didn't know how much I wanted that until in my sloppy vibration, in my knowing what I didn't want and pushing very hard against that, I actually activated a vibration of what I didn't want, and so therefore got what I didn't want. And I like knowing that I'm not an exception to the law of attraction. I like knowing that I got sort of what was in my vibration, but I like now knowing that I got to clean that up. I can't just want that. I have to be a vibrational match to that. I can't push against not monogamy in order to get monogamy. I have to resonate with that. I like the idea of a partner who is a partner only with me, and I like it for this reason and this reason and this reason. I do believe that there are others who feel as I do, and I do believe that law of attraction can bring us together.
So did I have sloppy vibration and that I attracted her into my life 27 years
But
ago?
all kinds of people do that. In other words, this is the story of monogamy as compared to having many partners. So let's say that you want monogamy and someone else wants the freedom of experience with other people. So you meet this person, and for lots of reasons you find yourselves attracted to one another, but your vibration is not pure about what you want because you're worried about that. You think about it, you push against it. The other person may not be a vibrational match to what you want and may even be pushing against that. But the most important thing to know is if you're worried about something, it's in your vibration. So the very thing that you don't want to happen is active in your vibration.
Are you suggesting I was worried about non-monogamy in the relationship?
Yeah, we're suggesting that almost everybody is. Almost everybody's worried about what the other person's going to do, and at the basis of that is belief that you don't have control of your own experience unless you're able to control another. That's why your marriage vows are so controlling.
I couldn't control
Until
her.
death do us part, we will like each other no matter how bad we are to each other.
Well, that's curious because my first relationship all through college, the same thing happened. She was non-monogamous, had multiple affairs, and she ended up leaving me for another woman. And then I repeat the same pattern. So is that because you have the same vibration going on?
And isn't it logical that you would have the same vibration the second time around?
No, I'd want to change it.
Because you were remembering the first, and isn't it logical that you might still have it going on because of the second? And that's really the point of unconditional alignment and unconditional love that we're talking about. You got to find some way to resonate with what you really want apart from what happened.
But when you experience the contrast, don't you want to change that?
Well, of course you do. And that's step one already happened. You put all of that in your vortex, but you didn't stay true to your vortex. You worried more about what was going to happen.
So now going forward, once I do end up getting divorced and start to date, how can I ensure that I'm going to find a partner who will be monogamous?
You can't at this point. You can't at this point because it's still active in your vibration. And we think that that's why your reluctance to get on with this is because you haven't received closure yet because you're still talking about it. You're still pushing against it. You're still trying to make how you feel somebody else's fault. You're still trying to make where you are the fault of someone else. And until you accept that it was active in your vibration, and until you are certain that it's not active in your vibration, then you're right, you will repeat it again because you take yourself with you. People sometimes say, Abraham, this relationship isn't very good, do you think I should leave? And sometimes we say yes, maybe that is the path of least resistance, but remember, you'll be taking yourself with you. So now we think you better get out of town too because there's stuff in town you don't like. And now you got to get out of this state because there's stuff, but everywhere you go, you sort of take who you are. So what you're wanting to say, what we've romped around this focus wheel to say is, I get to feel the way I want to feel, and I want to feel good about this. I get to make the choices that I want to make. It's not wrong for you to feel that way, and it's not wrong for her to feel that way. It's just that two people who didn't feel the same way matched up with each other and tried to control each other. That's what doesn't go well. This is a great big place with all kinds of people who are a vibrational match to what you want. But right now, you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get what you don't want because what you don't want is more active in your vibration because what you've been living has your undivided attention, or nearly so. This was a really good conversation.
Well, thank you.
Really good. Good time for a segment of peeing.